Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about the new, I wouldn't call it a filter, but High Level just put out a time zone correction for your default settings for workflows. So if you have workflows that are going out that are automatic follow-ups, right? So if you're doing agent outreach, we use a lot of automatic follow-ups. So one of the follow-ups that we use is based on time. So we may put like in here, this is in the settings section of any given workflow, right? Now you can set this up to go out anytime if it's a workflow that's based on a tag. If you have something that sets it off and you know that it's only going to be set off during work hours or something like that. But if you're working late into the night and you're on the opposite coast of where you're sending your marketing, you don't want to have workflows that are going to go out based on your time where you are, because you're going to have stuff that goes out either too late or too early in the morning and people will get annoyed. So what they have done is created this thing that is based on the contacts time zone. You can have it on the account time zone, which would be your account, right, or our account here. It's based on that time zone or based on the contact time zone. So what we do here is we kind of set things up for a specific date and time, and I usually have mine go out between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., right? Whoops, 8 p.m. So if I'm doing that, right, if I'm setting it up that way, this means that my workflows will only send out messages, text messages between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. in the contacts time zone, not mine. So I live in North Carolina. So if I'm marketing out to California, well, there's probably about a 3-hour difference there. So I don't want my marketing going out to them at hours that are either too late or too early. So this circumvents that problem, and it's a great thing. It just came out today. I'm really excited about having it in my workflows, because I had basically designed my workflows to go out later. So I would start my workflows at like 11 a.m. to prevent them from going to the West Coast too early in the morning, right? Sending text messages. So the follow, these are from my follow-up flow. So this is very, very helpful. So I'm going to basically show you how I set this up. Now this is for the time zone corrections anyway, and I'm not going to use it for this particular setup because it's an anytime type of thing. But this is how I set up my time zone correction. So basically, everything for me is triggered by tags, right? So when I import a contact into the system, based on where they are, it will basically update their contact field where there's a time zone field. So there is a time zone for each contact that you have. And you have to kind of set that up when you first put people in the system. So mine, since I'm already tagging people with state and city tags, I'm using those state and city tags to basically correct their time zones, right? So you might say, well, the thing I said, and I almost commented on the Go High Level announcement when they announced this today. It's like, okay, well, I have like 300 and some odd contacts, 300,000 and some odd contacts. Because I've collected contacts for many, many years, reaching out to sellers and now reaching out to agents and reaching out to wholesalers to find potential properties. So having all those people in my contacts, I never set their time zone up because I never thought to put a time zone. I didn't think it really mattered because I just never thought about it. Now it all matters, and I have 300,000 contacts. How do I fix all of their time zones? So before I even sent the message, I realized it's pretty easy. I would just set up a workflow and I would dump them all into the workflow at one time, and I would filter them out so that each person will go to a specific time zone based on their city or state, right? So what I did here is I basically created these segments, which are, it's the if if then, basically. I think this is called an if then fork or if fork. So when you're setting up, when you click here, you just go if else. That's what it's called. So select that one, right? And that gets you this thing here. And if else, I basically created segments. So I know that for Eastern time, everybody in the state, these are my markets. You may be working in different markets, but I'm in North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, on the East Coast. So the whole state of North Carolina is Eastern Standard. So a whole state of Georgia, a whole state of Florida is all Eastern. But the problem is that Tennessee, only certain cities are Eastern. So that city is Knoxville. So you can see I have or tags here, or I'm using tags to basically put in these segments. And we have all these tags here. And I have or rather than and I just put them each. You have to put them each in their own little place for this to work properly. Right. So for Central, I have all of Texas for the most part, except El Paso. And I actually need to change that because I just realized that El Paso will not be Central time. So I can't have Texas there. I'm going to have the city. So it'll be Houston. Houston. Right now I gotta build some other conditions here. So we'll do tags, and we'll do includes Austin. Oops, AUS, City of Austin. Add another one. Contact details, tags, includes San Antonio. All right, we'll do add condition, contact details, tags, includes Dallas, add condition, tags, includes Fort Worth, and that will be that for right now. That's all I can think of in Texas. There's probably another city in Texas. There's so many cities in Texas. Whoops, didn't mean to go out of there. So we got those cities in Texas there. Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and Fort Worth, right? Those are all going to be Central. And then we have Mountain, which is Colorado, the state of Colorado, the state of Arizona, city of El Paso, and then Pacific is basically the whole state of California. Now, I don't necessarily market in all of these places, but I do know that these are great places to do real estate. So I just want to have them in my system just in case. So that's what I've done. So we'd save the action. And now, like I said, if I tag, and I need to add these other cities, but if we put any of those tags in here, it automatically will trigger this flow and these folks will go into here. But for the 300,000 folks that I already have in my system, I'm just going to add those contacts to this workflow without using the tags to trigger it. I'll just basically add them, and I would show that, but you have to go into my contact section, and then it'll have a problem for YouTube. So I'm not going to do that here. But basically, if you were to do this, you go into your contact section, you select all your contacts, and then there's a little robot head on the left here. You would click that, and then click the time zone corrections workflow if that's what you named it, right? So then it would set them off, and all go into here. So that is that, and I hope that helps you all. And I hope I did it correctly, because this is the first time I actually think that I ran it earlier. So we'll see if any. Yeah, so we've had people have gone through it, and oops, I showed some people, but it didn't show any of their contact information. So that's good. So yeah, that basically puts them through the workflow, and they all have been, I'm guessing, put into the proper time zone, and now we should be all good to send them through workflows that are going to follow up from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So now I can set all of them from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and not have to worry. They will go out whenever they go out and be within reason for people who are on the opposite coast. Hope that helps you all. I'm out.